the future look bright. They deserve that because it's a big nation of football. And I think today, for the beauty of the football and the justice of the football, Spain are the normal champion. Like, I'm not surprised. They've been amazing.
Patrice, you were very big on them being the comfortable favourites coming in. I think for everyone, they were the team that played the most attractive football in the tournament. And yes, tonight is all about them. But Bhaichung, of course, for England, they've come here again and fallen at the final hurdle again. I just mentioned the first nation to lose consecutive European finals. You do have to feel for them where they've come from. But you have been critical of them throughout the tournament about the fact they haven't created enough. And I've got another stat here for you. Croatia, who are one of the more disappointing big nations in the tournament, had an expected goal tally of 7.1. England, who played 7 matches, expected goals 6.43.
Where is David?
They didn't create anywhere near enough.
Yeah, I think first of all, I feel very sorry for the English players, especially the players. I think especially Harry Kane, for me, is one of the best strikers, and I'm a big fan of him. He's a great leader as well. So I feel sorry that he's not been able to win any tournaments. But again, do they deserve to be in the finals? I personally, looking at the games and matches, I don't think so. They have huge talent. They're high quality players. Look at Spanish side. I think you've got Luis de la Fuente, who's come through youth system. He's worked with different age group. He's won tournaments and come in and he's built that. Look at England side. England team has been under 17 World Cup champion. They've got under 21 world champion. They have that talent, young talented players coming in and winning those major World Cups in those age group. That means England is producing such great quality talents. And when you've got that quality talent and you've got Gareth Southgate to play with those talent, I think he has to be positive. He has to play attacking mindset. Spanish team plays the same formation, 4-2-3-1. And look at England when they started 4-2-3-1, they're only defensive. When Spanish plays 4-2-3-1, they're more attacking. So I think it's the mindset and the negative attitude what the coach brings in as well. And that's why when you see English players playing in different clubs, when they play in their club, they're a different player. But when they come and play for the national team in Euro 2024, you don't recognize them.
Bhaichung, Patrice, help me out here. When you look at the two sides, before a ball was kicked at the start of the tournament, I wouldn't imagine too many of the Spanish players, not too many, would have got in the England team.
True.
Yeah.
At the very start.
Yes.
You're actually cool.
Now at the end of the tournament, Rodri, for sure. Now at the end of the tournament, you go, oh, it's incredible. The talent and the pool.
You could make a case for 6 or 7 probably to make it in.
Yeah.
But at the very start, you're thinking you wouldn't swap England's squad. No. Like the French squad, you wouldn't. Maybe it's 1 or 2, but not like 7 or 8
I agree.
in a starting 11. So it just tells you how bright this team can be going forward.
What does that do to the psyche, Patrice, of the English players? Because they are talented. There are some young players coming through, but now losing back-to-back finals. Yes, it's good for experience, but what does that do to them now going into a 26 World Cup?
I mean, depend of the manager. I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of English players will be frustrated. They don't have any minutes. Well, like we say, that team, it's unbelievable when you see the quality of the player. I just feel like sometimes, England just create their own problem. Of course, we know Southgate. We don't know the player injury or whatever. I can give him some excuse. When you're a coach of your national team, you don't have the same player every single day. So they play a different way in clubs. So that's why sometimes I understand when a player can't perform the same way he's performing with his club. But what I can't forgive is when you don't use your creativity player, you keep them on the bench, you play a football safe, you negative. This I can't agree with that. No matter, I prefer to lose, but let me lose. With the player I've got, actually. It's not like you have to look around or say we need to find a new player for England. No, you got the players.
That's it, isn't it? Because there'll be talk, rip up grassroots, let's tear it all up. You don't need to. The players are there.
Yeah.
Players are there, the depth is there. Wasn't to be, though, for them tonight. They were well led by Harry Kane, their captain. He'll be disappointed, so let's hear from him post-match.
Harry, commiserations. A step too far.
Yeah, tough game. It's hard to put into words how we're all feeling right now. But yeah, tough game. We done well to get back into the game at 1-1, and then we struggled to build on that really. And then to concede later on is obviously a really painful one to take. And yeah, I don't know what to say.
When Cole Palmer equalises, do you think, here we go again?
Yeah, I mean, we've been coming from behind all tournaments, so we know we've got that in the locker. We know the resilience that we've shown, but yeah, ultimately, we once we got back into the game, we didn't take the next step and then go on to win the game, of course. And
Did the comebacks over the last couple of weeks take their toll, maybe emotionally and physically? Did we see that?
I'm not too sure. I think in the first half, especially, we struggled really. Spain played well and had us under pressure, and we couldn't quite keep the ball like we wanted to. Second half was a little bit better, and then of course we got the goal, and we felt like we had the momentum, but we couldn't keep it, and then obviously we got caught with a cross there, and yeah, that's the final.
Does it feel like an opportunity missed? Obviously it does, but you also look at this as history made, a first final on foreign soil.
No, it's an opportunity missed. I think they're not easy to get to these finals. We've shown unbelievable resilience and character to get to where we are, but ultimately you have to take it when it comes, and we haven't done that again. So yeah, it's extremely painful. It's going to hurt for a long time, and yeah, all we can say is just thanks to the fans, thanks to everyone who believed in us, and we'll be back.
Many of these players will go again, of course, but maybe not with Gareth.
No, that's not for now. That's Gareth's decision. He'll go away and take time on that. But yeah, it's disappointing that we couldn't win it for him. We wanted so badly to win it for him, so we'll see.
Thank you, Harry.
Big last question there. Southgate just in the background asks, is he going to still be the coach? But as Harry Kane there said correctly, it's not the time or the place to discuss that. But what did you make of those comments? A couple of interesting comments there. And also then the substitution, the timing of that from Southgate. But first, his comments.
I think Harry was sort of spot on what he said. It's difficult when you're standing there trying to analyse a game and analyse a tournament when you've just lost. I think he was honest. I think the interesting line that he said there when Cole Palmer scored and Gabriel asked him the sort of question, he said, like, we've been coming back, it feels like every single game. Sure. Well, if you're coming back late on in every single game, at some point it's going to bite you. And tonight was the night.
Patrice, was the substitution by Southgate correct for you, the right timing?
It's difficult to say they are correct or incorrect because it's a substitution, they come and they score. But that's what I mean. You can't play with the fire, especially against a strong side like Spain. That's why I will always speak about England with regret. And it's not, I'm not the manager, but you got those players. Why you bring them on at the end? You know, why you don't want to be in control of the game? So, that's the question from the journalist. It was brutal about Southgate because he was just behind.
Yeah, it's funny because we were all in the green room watching the game, and the obvious substitution, sitting watching it, was Kobe Mainoo off. He was struggling in the game, couldn't get a kick. Was Bellingham a little bit deeper, and then Ollie Watkins with Harry Kane. But when you're at ground level and you're a manager and you need to try and see it, only the very best can see it. The Guardiolas, the Mourinhos, the Sir Alex Fergusons, the Klopps, etc., etc. These can see it at ground level. It's difficult to try and spot, but we all thought the obvious change was Kobe Mainoo off, Bellingham deeper, Watkins with Kane.
Well, there'll be a full and thorough review, of course, for the England national team. Gareth Southgate, his future will be a topic of debate, no doubt. But we did have a wonderful final in any case, so let's go through some of those key moments from the game. We'll start with today's play of the day, which is by Nico Williams.
Carvajal for Lamal. Lamine Yamal. And Williams scores! And Spain strike first on this grand night in Berlin. Wow, it's like they've caught England cold. Harry Kane trying to pick his team up. The boy from Bilbao has the Spanish on their way.
Play of the day, Nico Williams. It was a very good start for Spain. Bhaichung, what a play and what a tournament he had. For him to have his moment in the final, very well deserved.
Yes, I think he's been outstanding throughout the finals, and that's what I think we just heard as well. He was man of the match for the finals as well, deservingly. And I think he was everywhere from the first minute. First half, we could see him going towards the left-hand side as well. He was positive about taking man-on-man. He did create few chances for Yamal. and the goal, which was brilliantly taken. I think he's kept it low, he's kept the power, and when you keep power and keep it low, it's always going to be difficult, and what a wonderful strike.
And he was a trait all game, and even you can see his first touch. You know, as a fullback, sometimes you hope the winger will have a bad touch, and every time his first touch is like, I'm going to you.
Yeah.
And as a defender, we hate that. So constantly, he was like that, positive, going to his defender. He well deserved. He was electric. I know we talk a lot about Yamal, but what a tournament also for William.
For both of them, Williams and Yamal, of course, Spain's tournament began in Berlin. They beat Croatia 3-0. Both of those players were the talking points immediately. And yeah, Yamal, okay, perhaps not at the same level as Nico Williams tonight, but when we look back on this tournament, all the records broken, what a performance, and obviously a key contributor, and to have done it, well, for most of the tournament at 16, remarkable.
It's ridiculous.
And the young player of the tournament, of course, as well.
Yeah, and we talked on the show the other day, he's 10 years away from his prime.
Yeah,
I mean, it's absolutely scary.
It's hard to comprehend.
You know, and it's not easy trying to get a message across to fans who watch the game and they watch clips and they see a young player like Yamal and they go, right, I want to see that every single week. I want to see it all of the time. Every time you get the ball, I want to see it. We know how difficult it is. And you saw the chances that he missed. You fast forward 4 or 5 years, he scores 2 or 3 tonight because you have a little bit more experience.
You know, also done what I'm impressed also, his pass, his assist.
Yeah.
He's always constantly dangerous. If he doesn't score, he will give a lot of assists.
Can I give you another stat? Lamine Yamal in the 2030 World Cup, which Spain will host with Portugal and Morocco, will be 23.
That's ridiculous.
Because of that picture with Messi.
Well,
that's what started it.
It's game over. It's game over.
We saw that picture with Messi, of course, earlier in the tour. There it is again.
Oh, guys, not that picture, man.
There's the picture again. Let me tell you something. They could be facing each other in the Finalissima if Argentina beat Colombia in the final of the Copa America, which will be another special story.
Giving a bath to a baby and you playing against him in the
I'm
final.
sure we'll see that picture again if that happens again. But that is what a story. What a remarkable tournament for Yamal. And again, repeating, he'll be 23, 2030.
No one's ever done this, no?
No.
So Maradona was probably close to being in the Argentina side about 17-ish.
Pele won a World Cup at 17.
17, I think.
So very few.
We're talking Pele level.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
No, it is completely remarkable. Williams, Yamal, amazing. Today's strike of the day, though, didn't come from the Spain camp. It came from the England camp. It was the goal to Cole Palmer.
And now here's Palmer, and now here's Saka, and Watkins is through the middle, and Foden is galloping too. Bukayo Saka, Bellingham, smashing hit, smashing goal, Cole Palmer! What moments. We spoke about the moments that England have had in this tournament. The goals, stunning goals that they've needed to drag themselves back. Is this the next one on an ever-increasing list? It's a brilliant finish. It really has almost come out of nowhere for England.
Cole Palmer had his moment as well, wins our strike of the day, and it was probably England's best build-up play of the match. But Cole Palmer and his output, his impact, Patrice, only 149 minutes he played in the 7 matches England featured in the tournament.
That's tell you everything. You got a player like that, 7 a game. Nearly just you give him 1 game, that kind of player. So that's why I don't want to talk negative. I think he's a great goal, even he's a little defection. But imagine what Palmer will feel when he's going to go home and his friend, like, why you didn't play, they're going to keep saying that. They're even going to forget he scored in the final.
Cole Palmer will be a moment that, of course, he'll have mixed feelings on when he thinks about it in years to come. But a top player, I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him at this level in the future, no doubt about that. Now, we saw his manager lingering in the background before when Harry Kane was speaking. It's time to hear from England manager Gareth Southgate.
Gareth, commiserations, the hurt goes on.
Yeah. Look, I think they were the best team in the tournament. We didn't quite keep the ball well enough, but we were right in it until the last 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm devastated for everybody, really. Players have been absolutely incredible. So proud of what they've done, but yeah, we've just fallen a little bit short.
When Cole Palmer equalises, did you think, here we go again? It's that resilience again.
Yeah, no question, because we had a little bit of momentum in the game at that point as well, and there was big chance at the end to equalise as well, but probably across the 90 minutes, I'm not sure we did quite enough.
Do you think maybe the comebacks of the last few weeks caught up with the team physically, emotionally?
Yeah, possibly. I just think against Spain, they press well. You have to keep the ball when you win it back. And defensively, we were fine in the first half. We just needed to retain the ball a little bit more. And, in the end, maybe that is the bit that takes more out of your legs as well.
Were the players in the physical condition you would have liked, optimal condition? When you look at Harry maybe, and Jude Bellingham, who's had to go to the distance in so many games.
Yeah, look, there's no hiding from the fact that we've had a lot of issues coming into the tournament. We've managed to deal with most of them. We've managed to get Luke up tonight, but yeah, in the end, we've just fallen short.
Do you look on this as a tournament, a successful tournament, a history-making tournament, obviously, first on foreign soil, or a missed opportunity?
Yeah, well, probably both, frankly. I think the players have got to take enormous credit for getting us to the point we did, but then when you're as close as that, you've got to take those chances.
What are you most proud of?
Just the way that they've fought, they've represented the shirt with pride. They've never been beaten until the very end, 5 minutes of the last game. The character and the resilience that they've shown. Like I said, I just think tonight we didn't quite keep the ball well enough to, they had more control of the game, and I think that was probably the bit that made the difference.
This job is hugely demanding. Have you more to give? Have you more you want to give?
Look, I don't think now is a good time to make a decision like that. I've got to talk to the right people, and it's just not for now.
This team, though, a lot of this team have more to come, don't they? Young men going to the next World Cup with a lot more potential from this group of players.
Look, I think England are in a really good position in terms of the experiences they've got now, the age of the squad. Most of this squad are going to be around not only for the World Cup, but the next Euros as well. So, there's a lot to look forward to, but, that's not... at this moment, that's not any consolation.
No consolation. Gareth, thank you very much. Commiserations. And, it's been a tournament, obviously, where you say England have made their mark.
Thank you. Thanks, David.
Very tough, of course, for Gareth Southgate there post-match. Spoke well, as he so often does, but it must be very difficult in those moments there. His reaction, what did you make of it, Don?
I think he looked emotional, and I think that's fair. Again, like Harry Kane's interview, I thought there wasn't really too much more he could say. I think he was very honest as well. Sometimes managers can be very blinkered and go, we were brilliant, we should have won. He was very honest there. And he said across the 90 minutes, Spain were the best side. He said Spain had been the best tournament. So even Gareth agrees with what we've all saw. Like I said before, our eyes don't lie. So it was an emotional interview. And you have to then feel, like Bhaichung said, you feel sorry for the players. Then you see the manager being asked some difficult questions. And you can see the emotion in his eyes, the honesty in his voice. And you have to feel for him.
Of course, we heard one of the last questions there about his future. Does he have the energy to go on? I don't particularly like the timing of that question, given the emotion and the efforts and, of course, the energy that has gone into this tournament. But, Bhaichung, that's now going to be the question. And England have been, irrespective of who, when, where he has taken them deep, 4 tournaments in a row. There is the 2026 World Cup now, of course, 2 years away in the US, Mexico and Canada. Does he continue this? Of course, it will be up to Southgate. England have made that clear, but he's got them clicking, he's got them playing well. Does he continue? Do you see him continuing?
I think what I can see in Southgate is definitely a great management manager. I think he's got great confidence. He's got a lot of love and support for the players, and he stands for the players, which is a great quality of a coach. But tactically, I'm not too sure, because why I say that again is because England right now, and I keep saying this, I've been saying this from the last Euro, which happened 4 or 5 years ago. And I said England has got some of the best players of this generation right now. And you look at, as you said, you've got best players of England, you've got best player, highest goal scorer in Bundesliga, you've got best player in La Liga, and the quality of players they have. They've been winning under 17 World Cup, under 20 World Cup. Look at the young players coming up and being world champions. So it's just that utilizing and playing to their strength, which I think Gareth Southgate so far has not got it right.
Do you know, if you ask the players, if you ask the England players, they would 100% want him to stay on.
Absolutely.
I can see the empathy. I can see it in Bukayo Saka when he's struggling, when he struggled when he missed the penalty a couple of years ago. The love that the backroom staff and Southgate gives the younger players, the John Stones, the Carl Walkers, the older players, the younger players like Ezra on the bench, Cole Palmer, the Anthony Gordon, who I don't think played enough minutes. I think if you polled that question to the players, I think to a man, they would all say 100%.
And understandably so, of course. You did mention, of course, they do have a couple of ageing players. Harry Kane as well, another 2 years from now. Where will he be? He's at the wrong side of 30. But they're all questions for another time. Of course, Spain deserved winners. But England had their moments when they scored, obviously getting back into the match. But it could have been very different because, of course, Spain did miss some chances, largely down to the brilliance of Pickford, who I certainly thought was one of the stars of the show for England, particularly tonight. Hasn't been called into action this much all tournament, but Spain did have chances. And Patrice, it did feel that as England have been doing all tournament, they've been finding ways late on. Spain missing some golden opportunities here.
It's a dangerous game. It's a final. You can being much possession, and when you miss a lot of chance like that, you can get punished in this level. But that's why sometimes I was feeling, wow, England can maybe, bring it home. But at the end, it's well deserved. I mean, this one for me, Yamal should score. I think this will be. It's already a beautiful story. Don't get me wrong, but I may be a little bit more greedy. I wanted Yamal to score.
In a couple of years, he scores it, doesn't he?
And that's what done, yeah.
Again, I think it's because of Pickford. I think they kept it till the last end till the end. Otherwise, I think the game would have been over a long time ago because there were 2 or 3 great quality saves that Pickford kept England on the run for the trophy. Otherwise, I think within 60th, 70th minute, 2-3 goals down, England would have just given up and the game would have been over by then.
Well, they didn't rue those missed opportunities in the end. And Yamal, he set the standard high. That's why he's expected to score that. But in the end, they found the way through. Spain are European champions, courtesy of our changemaker, Oyarzabal.
Ruiz. Olmo. Oyarzabal. Cucurella! 2-1 Spain! Oyarzabal! Prompt, neat, telling! Time is running out, and Spain are nearly there! Well, they have played beautiful football at times and incisive, and when they have, they've caused England problems.
Had to be our change maker of the match. What a substitution, what a moment, and that goes down in Spanish history. No words needed, but of course it was very, very marginally onside. Of course, there was a nervous wait for the Spanish players, but it was Patrice by a kneecap in the end, but a goal that capped off a great build-up.
Yeah, I know it was a great build-up. After maybe you can say Walker wasn't wide enough already, but also Saka doesn't track his man, but he's a great footballer, and yes, well, we saw that is a knee. So that's why I mean, I would like to change, that rule, because sometimes it's the hair, sometimes it's the toes, sometimes it's the knee, and he could have cancelled that game. So
started the move as well with a touch, Yeah. The ball got fired into him, and he laid it off out wide. And I think, I'm not being critical because, as I said, when you're at ground level and you've got to make a decision as a midfield player, Patrice fullback, Bhaichung, you tend to do things, and then only when you see it back and you replay it when you see the footage again, you get in, and Carl Walker will think, I just went a little bit narrow. I just went a little bit narrow, and then Saka couldn't get back to stop the Cucurella cross. Brilliant cross.
Bhaichung for Oyarzabal there to score the winner. That is the greatest moment you could ask for as a player.
Yes, I think for any striker to come and score that winner is something which you dream of. But look at the build-up. I think they build it from, the Spanish team has built this goal from their own half. You know, they played through the midfield, come in, and I think it's important that when you're towards the end moment, every player has to concentrate and be focused. And the way the goal was built up, I think it was too easy. They got through the midfield very easily. The ball was laid out to the back. See, if you can see it here, it's just you're playing it from your
look, Saka can't get back.
And that's what I told you is.
And you've got, see the white shirt. You've got 8, 9 white shirts, and you've got 3 white shirts with just 1 red, and that's it.
You know, also what I want to mention, why I say this squad is a really healthy squad. All the sub, when they come in, they make the difference. We remember Olmo coming in after, I think, 15, 20 minutes and being ready. And by the way, Kukwela, what's Gary Neville say? What did he say about him, Don?
He said Spain can't win the tournament with Cucurella on the side. I mean, he was incredible. If you're picking an 11, I'm pretty sure he'd probably be at left back.
Yeah.
Just repeat that. What did he say?
He said Spain can't win the Euros with Cucurella on the side.
I can also tell you, I was pitch side at the final for us 3 years ago, and Gary Neville was also beside me wearing a pre-made pinstripe suit that said it's coming home all the way down.
Brilliant.
That's why we love Gary. Au revoir. Hey. It doesn't come home.
It doesn't come home. But that was a goal that won it, but it wasn't over yet. And our turning point of the day features Dani Olmo.
And Palmer flings it in, and Rice arrives. Repelled not once but twice. Olmo with an extraordinary block.
Well, it's the first save is good, and then it's Olmo on the line. And it falls back to Declan Rice, and he can't keep the ball down.
Dani Olmo with our turning point. That was incredible. What a way to end the final. And you said it there, Patrice, but that's as good as a goal.
Yeah, as good as a goal. This is a celebration, and you can see it there. You know, everyone scream, even the goalkeeper. Normally, they always come at you and shout at you. But finally, some goalkeeper, when you defend well, they come. And no, this is for me. England was back in the game again, doing that save. But Dani Olmo, what a player. I'm so impressed about the way he came in this tournament after replacing like Pedri and performing in that level, because his score goal, assist and saving that, this is the same value of a goal.
And this guy's not new. This guy's not new to this tournament. Dani Olmo's been doing this for a long time. And I think he's got 5 or 6 days left on his buyout clause as well. So, yeah, very special player. He's like Diego Jota at Liverpool, effective. He's like Trossard at Arsenal. Some players have the ability just to really affect the game of football. That's priceless.
He's also a shared winner of the Golden Boot at this tournament. I mentioned in the pre-match that this year UEFA decided to share the award, and well, there you go. There's 6 winners.
All of them.
Of the Golden Boot. Mikel Arteta, Musiala, Gakpo, Dani Olmo, Schranz, and Harry Kane.
Amazing.
So Harry Kane in the end does win a Euros and the World Cup Golden Boot, but yeah, strange. This time
Harry Kane only win personal trophy.
He did say before the match that he'd be happy to trade all his personal accolades for that one team trophy he's never had. So
yeah, so, but also it's nice for the other striker, because at the end, if you score the same amount of goal, you should get rewarded. But yeah, it's really strange for us to see 6 players gonna get rewarded. I hope they have a lot of silver.
There you go. There you go. Across both finals, this final, the last final, he's only had 1 touch in the opposition box. So he just hasn't had that impact in the key moments, Bhaichung, as we've seen him do so consistently for club and country, but just in the moments that have mattered most, he just hasn't been able to deliver.
No, I think for a striker, if you look at the stats, though he might not be happy himself, Harry Kane scoring 2 goals through penalty and 1 through header, but I think he's still in the top goal scorer in this tournament. But again, you can't only blame Harry Kane, because you've got to see how the team has been playing. And, you know, every player playing along him and every manager who's managed Harry Kane and every manager who's watched football know how Harry Kane plays. He's going to come deep. He's going to create that space. You need somebody to run into those spaces that has been created by Harry Kane. And you don't have that in England's side, which is taking advantage of the situation.
But I have a question for you and Don. Do you think if a new manager came, he will make sure to play for Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Or for the England team. Because personally, I feel, when it's not on the field, and tell me if I'm wrong, England are playing like more forward, Watkins running behind the defense. So also, I think the next manager, or even Southgate, will have a tough decision, because you will have to question. Because it's good to give to say like it's about the way, the style we play. But imagine a new manager say that team will perform better without Harry Kane. It's a lot of
difficult, isn't it? Because you know, there's a reason why he scored 1 million goals in the Bundesliga last season. It's a reason why he's England's top scorer, Tottenham's top scorer. You've got to play strikers like Harry Kane in the width of the 18-yard box. You know, you get they're special breeds centre forwards. You don't want Harry Kane doing his work wide or coming on the halfway line. It's good when it sort of works and he can come and sort of link the play. But if I'm building a side and Harry Kane's in my team, I'm saying to him, do not move at the width of the 18-yard box. Then it's up to Foden, it's up to Saka, it's up to Anthony Gordon, it's up to Cole Palmer, it's up to all these creative guys to provide him with a service.
My only worry is all those technical players you mentioned they don't have the habit of running behind. They want the ball in their feet. That's why it's causing a lot of problems, because you're right, Harry Kane need player to run behind him. But actually Foden, Saka, Palmer, they're all great players, but they will never do that movement and, you know, go. They want in the feet.
And it might just need evolving as well, because Guardiola's the man who sort of, you know, he didn't invent a false nine, but he's invented the sort of inverted fullbacks, if you like. And over the last 10 years, we talked about Man United's a good example last season, where Rasmus Højlund had no service whatsoever because Marcus Rashford was playing down the left, who's a right-footed player, and Anthony played on the right, who's a left-footed player. That's not designed to get your number 9 chances. You know, it's the same with England when Phil Foden's a little bit narrow, or Saka's on the right and he's cutting on his left. Of course he can score, but Harry Kane's gone, where's my service, guys? Who's providing me with a service?
Absolutely. Well, great discussion. You mentioned Harry Kane. If you want to see Harry Kane score another 1 million goals, as Don said, in the Bundesliga, you can catch the Bundesliga live on the Sony Sports Network. But tonight was all about his opposite number, Alvaro Morata, and Spain. So for the final time this tournament, let's relive their winning moments.
Seconds now. It is in the gift of the French referee. Spain, champions of Europe yet again, and the best team won it. Once more, this zestful football nation has come to the party and danced the most beautiful dance. They are show business, they're young, they're fresh, they're free, they're champions, and England are crestfallen. 60 years since first they won it, for a record-breaking 4th time, already for the 3rd time in the 21st century. The Spanish sparkled like no one else. The best team won it.
Wonderful winning moments there for Spain. And there's Carlos Alcaraz. What a day for Spain. Campeones, 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 que grandes. What a day. Carlos Alcaraz wins Wimbledon, consecutive years. Spain win their 4th European Championship. What a time to be from that beautiful country there. And well, look how many stars enjoying this moment. And this could now shape and take some of these young careers to the next level, and that's what is beautiful about international tournament, representing your country, and the ultimate feeling, the ultimate achievement there of winning a European crown. Don, it's been a fantastic tournament. Amazing. Spain have been the best team. You've been calling it from very early on in the piece, and in the end it's hard to disagree that this is the right pitches we should be seeing at the end.
Yeah, England have had the golden generation a long time ago. Belgium have certainly had it over the years, but you feel like now Spain have got it, and they've got a coach who has been brilliant in letting them fly and letting them play and letting them express themselves, and they've been the best side by far.
Bhaichung, fantastic tournament, of course. Spain come on and win, England losing finalists, but there's been so many other special storylines throughout the tournament. There's just been so much to love about this wonderful summer of football.
I think it's been a great tournament. Some of the smaller footballing nations have done really, really well. Big names have not been up to the standard, to name Italy, Belgium as well. But I think if you look at England's story as well, though they've gone to the finals, a lot of people, including me, would say that they don't deserve to be in the finals the way they played. But the quality of players they have, I think they've got great future. It's just that getting the right person to come in and be managing the side with the right system. I think England has got great future. And if we get right system, right manager, England is going to be as good as Spain or maybe even better than Spain and go on to win few trophies in coming years.
Thoughts about Manchester United and Everton. The erstwhile great Manchester United are still seesawing. A draw with Spurs on the 14th of January saw them win 5 straight games, albeit most of them just barely. Then came the awful loss to Fulham on the 24th of February, in which they played a lacklustre game. Then came Sunday's derby, where they lose 1-3 to the current league champions Manchester City, a game where they go a goal ahead, defend brilliantly for 50 minutes, eventually capitulating to the obviously better class of their rival. Regarding the manager Erik ten Hag, there are still many complaints from pundits left and right. The lack of clear sense of direction or style of play, lack or poor quality of man management, and constant poor recruitment of players. Since the 25% takeover of Man United by Jim Ratcliffe, it was hoped that Man United will progress to a more successful direction under his watch. Some pundits even think that Ten Hag might even be replaced come next season. Yet the stats show that he did not do too badly. He managed 61 wins in all competitions in his first 100 games, which actually is better record than either Mikel Arteta with 54 and Jurgen Klopp with 50.
Thoughts on Arsenal and Tottenham? If not for that one-week blip where they lost to Aston Villa and bow out of the Champions League, Arsenal have been by far the most impressive team this season. They have the best defensive record. They blow teams away by huge margin of goals, which leave them with the top goal difference, worth a point at least. Even after that week of disappointment, they are now pretty much faultless. It is not their choice, however. They have to be, because reigning champions Manchester City have games in hand, which if they win all the remaining games, there is nothing Arsenal can do about it. They will be crowned champions for the 4th consecutive time. But the way Arsenal played this season, it will be a shame if they did not win the Premier League.